everyone, and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show, where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. And if absence makes a heart grow fonder, you should be really fond of me now, because I have been absent from YouTube for about a week and a half, mostly because of the 4th of July, mostly because where I work, it is extremely busy at that time of year, and I just ran out of energy. I didn't have the energy to come and shoot an episode, and all kinds of stuff happened. I hate to make excuses, but that's exactly what happened. But I'm excited about this episode mainly because we have 3 Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand, made by the same winemaker, Sam Barker, I believe is his name, and Samuel Barker, I think. Anyway, same winemaker, same basic area, all estate-grown fruit, and we're going to see if they show the terroir of the areas that they were grown on. Even though they're in the same general area of New Zealand, they all evidently show strikingly different characteristics. And so I'm very excited to try them. They're all from the Barker's Marquis winery, and we're going to get started right off the bat. The first one is the Barker's Marquis Ranga.Ranga Sauvignon Blanc 2018, estate-grown Marlborough, New Zealand, certified sustainable wine growing in New Zealand. So sustainable farming is where they they utilize everything, the solar power, all of that, to make sure that they are self-sustainable, is basically the idea. Self-sustainable. You know, they reuse the water, all of that, which is very good for the environment and evidently for the wines. Now, I like a quote from the winemaker for this winery. He said, "Sometimes the hardest thing to do is nothing." Meaning that he doesn't believe in intervention, too much intervention in the winemaking process. I got something on my arm, sorry. Anyway, so let's see what we get on the nose. This rolls in at $13. So you get that really obvious grapefruit and grapefruit pith that is very common with New Zealand wines. In fact, New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc still has a very strong place in the wine market. I mean, we still sell a ton of New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. In fact, that trend started way back when Malbec from Argentina was going strong, and Malbec from Argentina is really starting to drop off now. But not the Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand. People love it. So this has grapefruit pith, and I get a little bit of lime notes coming through. And I get an interesting little polished, almost like a coconut oil thing coming through. Let's see what we get on the palate. A lot of interesting gooseberry, lime, and there is grapefruit, which, once I said, is very typical of New Zealand Sauvignon Blancs. In fact, I've always used to say you could put New Zealand Sauvignon Blancs in a lineup with grapefruit juice, and you might not be able to tell the difference. Some of them have that much grapefruit, and a lot of people love that. Maybe you like that. I'm not as fond of that as a lot of people are, but that doesn't mean anything. I understand the desire to have that. It certainly gives it a zesty, zingy, really lively on the palate. This one is the same way. I like the lime notes that are kind of hidden in the back. Nice concentration on the palate. Nice flow across the palate. This has a good intensity. Excuse me. Something on my foot was bothering me. Anyway, nice flow across the palate. Very zesty, very alive on the palate. A lot of people like that. It's a great wine if you're out in a warm summer day, out on the back porch, out on the front lawn, wherever you drink your wine. It's a great bottle of wine. It'd be great with a richer cheese. It'd be great with oysters, clams, all of that. I like this wine. Yeah, solid New Zealand Sauv Blanc without getting too much grapefruit. I like it. I'm going to go B. I'm going to go straight up B. It's just above average. Solid wine. Very good. Nice job, guys. Let's move on to the next one. I'm going left to right this time. Who knows why? So this is the Barker's Marquis Arona Sauvignon Blanc, Marlborough, New Zealand. And this one does not say estate grown on it. But they're all near the, they're all created near the, what's the river? It's right back here. The Blind River in Marlborough. And this rolls in at $14. Okay, there you go. Just a tiny rinse. Now I've been playing with this Arona at the store. It's done. It's pretty brisk. A lot of people like it. Like I said, it's not hard to sell New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc in this wine environment. Not as much grapefruit on the nose with this one. I get more of that coconut. This one doesn't have as much going on the nose. So very interesting. Same winemaker, same region that he makes these wines. Now my understanding, I'm surprised this one doesn't say it's estate grown, because most of it's again a sustainable wine growing from New Zealand. It says the same thing. Barker's Marquis Wines, Blind River, Marlborough. Anyway. I mean, there's a little bit of a maybe grapefruit pith, but it's not as prominent as the Ranga.Ranga. I get more of that coconut meat, a little bit of lemon. Let's see what we get on the palate. This is smoother, not as jazzy as a Ranga.Ranga. It doesn't have as much zippiness, but it's very smooth, very polished on the palate. It has grapefruit notes to it, as you might expect, but they're very subdued. It's almost like it's well integrated with the acidity. I like it. It's fleshier. If you know what I mean, there's more flesh to it. It's more rounded. It's less linear than this one. You get a little bit of a wet stone, but not too much. There's definitely some lime notes on the backside on the finish, and the finish is very long. This is like some people might say a step up. Some people might like this style better. This is definitely smoother, more well integrated, not as jazzy on the palate. You might like the jazzier style, give your palate a little shake, wake it up sort of thing. Whereas this one is more like, yeah, this is a nice, you could drink this bottle just kind of, it would go down easy. Let's just say that. Be careful. This is a be careful wine. Alan's going to get mad at me here, but I'm going to look real quickly to see if I see the alcohol content on this. And if I don't, I'm just going to quit. Well, there it is. Okay, we got 12.5. So low alcohol, a very low alcohol. And then I'm curious about the Ranga.Ranga, what that one is. Like I said, there it is. This is 12.5. So in a very reasonable alcohol range, which is impressive. Almost like it's a little sweeter, but not sweet. So you got to be careful. That's a hard one. Somebody says, is it sweet? Well, it's got more fruit. The fruit is riper on this one. Definitely riper. So you get, I'm really getting gooseberry on this one. not as zesty, riper fruit. It's delicious. Let's just say it's a 10 in the delicious category, and I'm not going to take credit for that statement. I heard that from somebody one time, and I just love that. I love it. I use it a lot. 8 in a delicious category, 10. You get the idea. It's very delicious, very good. I would have that with crab easily. Halibut, those would all be really good. Maybe with some cod. Obviously by itself. I like the alcohol content, and the finish is long. I'm gonna go B+ on that. I think it's a solid wine. I'm just gonna hit the Ranga.Ranga here with a Ranga.Ranga. Dude, I don't want to be in the jungle. Rodeo. Anyway. Both good. That's a little thinner coming behind the Arona. So yes, I'm gonna go B+. Let's move on. So this is the Barker's Marquis 3 Brooms Sauvignon Blanc. This rolls in at $17, so this is their upper tier. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of letters on the front. Certified Sustainable Marlborough, New Zealand. This is a vineyard designate, I believe. And this rolls in at $17. So you think, well, 17's a lot. Well, not really when people are paying whatever they pay for Cloudy Bay, which is up in the upper 20 range. There's a lot of New Zealand Sauv Blancs in the $20 to $25 range. So Craigie Range is up there, all of those. But the key to this one we're looking at, yes, they're entirely different. Same winemaker, 2 different styles from the same area in New Zealand. So you're definitely getting terroir-driven wines on these two. It's obvious that they're different. Soil, well, they say clay lime, or gravel and clay soils, just like Graves in Bordeaux. So same soil, but different parts of the vineyards and in the same area. And they show differently. And the winemaker obviously believes in less intervention. So he's allowing the fruit to do what it does. And that's kind of cool. So you see that in these 2 wines. Now let's move on to the three Brooms. I'm very curious to see how different this one is. So once again, almost 0 grapefruit on the nose here. Almost get a little bit of like an apple, lime, lemon. And I just get that hint of coconut meat. It's so weird. And it's, as many times as I've tasted with so many different people, and they come to me at the store and we talk and we taste wines, I have yet to hear anybody say coconut meat. But I get it. I get that kind of, not the juice, but the meat of the coconut is what I'm getting. Just faint, but it's there. Even a little bit of pear on this one, which is interesting. Let's see what we get on the palate. So let's just say this is a Toyota Camry. That's a Porsche. This is a Cadillac. I mean, well, let's say this is a Porsche because it's, zippy, zangy. I don't want to go Porsche. What I'm trying to say is you can see the step up in quality, and I don't know how you guys feel about it, but this would be like the Toyota Camry. This would be like the Porsche. This would be like the Cadillac. This is just smooth. It's just, yeah, crazy. The complexity is so much more in this wine than in this one or this one. A little bit of grapefruit comes on this. I get a little bit of apple. There's a little bit of a white pepper note that comes through. I'm getting some interesting medley of pineapple and lime and lemon on the backside. Again, the finish on this one is longer and a little zestier than this one. So this one didn't get as zesty. This is getting zesty, kind of like the Ranga.Ranga. It's like okay, these guys are closer together. It's hard. Yeah, okay, we want to show the love, the zest. And this is saying, no, I just want to be a smooth cat. That's what I want to be. But there's definitely a little bit of grapefruit, lime, pineapple. There's a lot going on with this wine, and the finish is long and zesty. I'm really liking this wine. I like all of them, actually. Certified sustainable, so they're reusing water, they're using solar power, I'm assuming. It's just a nice way to keep the environment clean and the plants happy and the grapes growing the way they want them to grow. It's a really cool thing. It's different from biodynamic. Maybe they have some biodynamic practices as well. It's different and organic. It's just sustainable farming. So they're self-sustainable, and you understand that. So all three very good wines in different ways. I'm definitely going to go B+, A- on this one. I like the finish, the zesty kind of white pepper finish on that. And it's very cool to see such different wines from the same winemaker. These are closer. I will say these are fairly close. And these are close. They're close in a different way. They're all related, obviously. Thanks for taking a little time out of your day. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm appreciating getting more and more subscribers. I like that. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.